Imagine a force so subtle it moves beneath the surface of your awareness, a quiet architect of fate weaving invisible threads between hearts. Without fanfare or notice, this divine presence orchestrates moments, coincidences, and inner stirrings that draw you closer to a connection far deeper than chance. Today, we explore 3 profound ways this sacred energy introduces you to your soulmate, without your conscious mind ever realizing it. It's in these hidden encounters that the soul's true journey begins. Have you ever felt, deep within your being, a sense that your path is being quietly guided by something unseen, yet profoundly present? This guiding force does not shout, it whispers. It moves beneath the surface of your waking mind, through the hidden realms of the unconscious, shaping encounters that on the surface seem random but in truth are laden with meaning. Imagine for a moment that there exists an inner compass, far older and wiser than your conscious thoughts, which gently nudges you toward the one who mirrors your soul. This compass is not merely a psychological curiosity. It is a manifestation of a timeless process, a sacred dance of archetypes, the eternal patterns embedded deep within the collective human psyche. These archetypes speak a language older than words, and it is through this language that the divine, however you choose to understand it, introduces you to your soulmate. The soulmate is not just a person, they are the living embodiment of a hidden part of your own psyche, reflected outward as the other. What happens then is a kind of psychic choreography, where shadow and light intertwine, and the soul's longing moves quietly but inexorably toward union. You may find yourself drawn to someone who awakens memories you cannot fully explain, or who triggers feelings that seem both familiar and strange. These are not accidents. They are messages delivered through symbols, dreams, and moments of uncanny coincidence. The unconscious speaks, and through its language, the veil between self and other becomes permeable. This unfolding is often so subtle that it escapes our notice. We walk through our days, unaware that the very chance meetings, the fleeting glances, the shared moments of silence, are in fact stages of an ancient ritual, an initiation into a deeper relationship with ourselves, mirrored perfectly in another. But how can we recognize these signs, if they appear so quietly? It requires a new way of seeing, an openness to the symbolic world that surrounds us, and a willingness to listen to the whispers of the unconscious. You might ask, is it possible to be led to another person by forces beyond my control? The answer lies not in control but in surrender to the mysteries of the psyche, to the dance of fate and free will. The soulmate connection is an alchemical process, where the union is as much within as it is between 2 individuals. Each encounter with the other becomes an opportunity for inner transformation, revealing parts of ourselves hidden in shadow, waiting to be integrated. And yet this journey is only beginning. The unconscious does not merely bring 2 souls together, it tests them, challenges them, and offers them a mirror in which they must confront their deepest fears and desires. What lies beyond this initial meeting? How does this hidden guidance continue to unfold once the veil is lifted and awareness dawns? In our next exploration, we will delve into the mysterious ways divine timing reveals itself, how synchronicity acts as the sacred rhythm that choreographs these meetings, ensuring that they happen precisely when the soul is ready. You'll begin to see that meeting a soulmate is never a matter of chance, but of cosmic timing, written into the fabric of your life story. So stay with me as we uncover these silent signals and move closer to understanding the sacred dialogue between your soul and its destined counterpart. What if the moments that bring your soulmate into your life are not just about space and presence, but about timing, an invisible rhythm that pulses beneath the surface of reality? This rhythm is not random. It is a sacred pattern, a synchronistic dance that unfolds when the soul is ready to receive, and when the universe conspires in subtle ways to make the meeting possible. Imagine for a moment that time itself is not linear, but layered, woven with threads of meaning that intersect at precise moments. These moments are marked by synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that defy mere chance, and yet are not bound by cause and effect. Have you ever experienced an uncanny event, a chance encounter or a sequence of signs that seemed too perfect to be accidental? These are the universe's way of signaling that something profound is at work. Synchronicity acts as a kind of spiritual clock, ticking not according to the hours on a watch, but according to the unfolding of the inner self. When you are ready, when your unconscious has prepared the ground, these synchronistic moments will emerge, guiding you toward the other, your soulmate. They may appear as repeated symbols, unexpected meetings, or serendipitous events that feel charged with meaning. And in these moments, the veil between your inner world and outer reality thins, allowing a glimpse of the deeper connection at play. But why does this timing matter so much? Because the soulmate connection is not merely about finding someone to love. It is about growth, integration, and the awakening of parts of your own soul. The timing must align so that both individuals are ready to meet, not only each other, but their own shadow. It is an initiation into a new stage of consciousness, where the unconscious reveals itself through the mirror of the other. Have you noticed how some encounters seem to arrive just in time, when you are undergoing inner turmoil, or when a part of you has been longing for change? These synchronistic events are not mere happenstance. They are the language of the psyche reaching out to harmonize your inner and outer worlds. The cosmos, or whatever one might call this deeper intelligence, waits patiently for the moment when your soul can receive its counterpart. And yet the question remains, how can you discern these synchronistic signs from everyday coincidences? The answer lies in your relationship with the inner world, your dreams, intuitions, and the symbols that appear repeated. When these signs appear, they often carry an emotional weight, a feeling of recognition, or a subtle call that awakens something within you. As this sacred timing reveals itself, it prepares you for the next phase, a phase where you must confront the deeper challenges that come with soul connection. Meeting your soulmate is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a process that requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to face the unknown parts of yourself reflected in the other. So what is the next secret that the soul unveils when two destined paths cross? How does this divine introduction continue beyond timing and signs, into the realm of silent inner transformation? What is the alchemical process that begins once the first meeting is made? Join me next, as we explore the third way this profound introduction happens, through the inner work that prepares the soul to truly unite, beyond the surface of the encounter. It is here in the depths of transformation that the true mystery of soulmate connection unfolds. We have traveled so far already, from the hidden pathways beneath our consciousness, to the sacred rhythm of timing that orchestrates the meeting of two souls. Now we arrive at a deeper truth, a truth that speaks not of outer chance or inner readiness alone, but of a profound inner transformation that is the very alchemy of soul union. This transformation begins quietly, within the silent chambers of the psyche. When two souls are introduced by forces beyond the conscious mind, a mirror is held up, not simply reflecting the beloved, but revealing the self in its fullest complexity. The soulmate is an archetype, the other who awakens the hidden parts of your being, the shadow, the anima or animus, the deeper self that longs for wholeness. This meeting invites you to embark on a journey, one that is as much about individuation, the integration of all parts of the self, as it is about love. It is here in this sacred encounter that the soul begins to shed its illusion. The initial enchantment gives way to the challenge of facing what lies beneath the unresolved wounds, the projections, the unconscious patterns that have shaped your life. Your soulmate becomes both a mirror and a guide, reflecting back what you need to see, even when it is uncomfortable. This process is not always easy. It demands courage to look beyond the surface, to confront the parts of yourself you may have long ignored or hidden away. Yet through this confrontation, a deeper connection is forged. The alchemy of love transforms separation into union, fragmentation into wholeness. Each challenge, each shadow revealed, is an invitation to grow, to expand and to move toward a more authentic and integrated self. The soulmate relationship becomes a crucible, a sacred space where transformation unfolds, and the soul's deepest desires are awakened. Have you ever noticed how some relationships seem to push you to your limit? How the person you are drawn to can awaken both your greatest joy and your deepest fears? This is no accident. It is the nature of soul connection to catalyze inner work, to awaken the dormant potentials within us, and to invite us to participate in a sacred dance of transformation. This is not a tale of simple romance, but a profound spiritual and psychological journey. And so the divine introduces you to your soulmate, not only by bringing you together, but by preparing you through inner work, through facing shadows, and through awakening to the full complexity of love. This inner transformation is the ultimate gateway, the final initiation into a relationship that transcends the ordinary, touching the very essence of the soul. But what then lies beyond this transformation? How does the union continue to unfold once the initial alchemy has begun? What new mysteries will arise as two souls learn to dance in harmony, balancing the forces of individuality and union? In our next reflection, we will explore the ongoing journey, how the soul's union with its counterpart becomes a living process, a dynamic interplay of growth, challenge, and profound connection. We will discover how this sacred relationship continues to evolve, calling us toward ever greater depths of self-awareness and love. So stay present as we step together into the next chapter of this timeless story, one that invites us to live fully in the mystery of soul connection and to embrace the transformative power it holds. Have you ever felt in a moment of silence that your soul was speaking in a language beyond words, a language of symbols, images, and inner voices? This language, often overlooked in the rush of daily life, is the true medium through which the divine communicates the presence of your soulmate. It is through the realm of dreams, visions, and subtle intuitions that the soul quietly prepares you for this sacred encounter. Within the vast landscape of the unconscious, there exists a symbolic world, rich with archetypes and images that speak directly to the heart. Here, your psyche weaves stories and symbols that mirror your inner longings, fears, and hopes. The soulmate emerges not only as a figure in waking life, but as a profound image in this inner theater, appearing in dreams, meditative states, or fleeting visions. These encounters, often subtle and mysterious, are invitations from the soul to recognize the other before the conscious mind fully grasps the reality. What is it about these symbolic encounters that is so powerful? Unlike the noisy world outside, the symbolic language bypasses the rational mind, touching a deeper layer of your being. It speaks in metaphors, sometimes as a stranger, sometimes as a guide, or even as a shadowy figure, awakening a sense of recognition and yearning. The soulmate's image in the dream world can be a key that unlocks hidden chambers of the heart, preparing you for the meeting to come. Have you noticed how certain dreams linger, how particular images repeat themselves, or how moments of sudden insight arise seemingly from nowhere? These are not mere fantasies, but sacred signals. They invite you to pay attention, to explore the symbols with curiosity and openness. The psyche uses these images to prepare you, to heal wounds, and to integrate parts of yourself that will be essential for the union ahead. The soul's symbolic language also reveals the deeper archetypal patterns at play, the eternal dance between anima and animus, the interplay of shadow and light, the hero's journey toward wholeness through love. Your soulmate relationship is not just about two individuals, but a meeting of profound cosmic patterns that echo across time and culture. This inner meeting prepares the ground for the outer encounter, aligning your inner world with the outer reality. But how does this symbolic preparation influence the actual meeting? The answer lies in the mysterious bridge between inner and outer worlds, where symbols become reality and dreams foreshadow waking life. When you learn to listen to these inner signals, you become a co-creator of your destiny, guided by the soul's wisdom. The unconscious reveals pathways that the conscious mind could never imagine. And yet, even this symbolic preparation is only part of the story. Once you have seen these inner images and begun to understand their messages, the soul calls you to act, to step into the world with new eyes, ready to recognize the other in the flesh. How do you move from dream to reality? How does this inner awakening transform your experience of connection, intimacy, and love? In our next reflection, we will journey into the realm of transformation itself, the inner work that follows recognition, the challenges of integration, and the ongoing dance of two souls evolving together. This is where the true test lies, and where the deepest mysteries of soulmate union reveal themselves. So keep your heart open and your mind attentive as we continue this unfolding journey toward the sacred union that awaits. Have you ever sensed that love, in its deepest form, is not simply an emotion, but a transformation, a sacred alchemy that changes the very fabric of your being? This transformation is neither accidental nor superficial. It is the meeting point of two souls, an inner process that awakens the highest potentials within each of us. The connection with your soulmate is, in essence, a mysterious alchemical process where the union of two distinct energies ignites a powerful transformation of the self. In this sacred alchemy, the soulmate relationship functions like a crucible, a vessel in which raw and often hidden parts of ourselves are exposed to intense heat, to be purified and reshaped. It is a process that dissolves old patterns and fears, melting away what no longer serves, so that a new wholeness can emerge. The flame of love is both gentle and fierce. It burns away illusions and awakens a deeper awareness of who we truly are. Imagine, if you will, the archetypal alchemist at work within your soul. This alchemist is the unconscious itself, tirelessly transforming lead into gold, not through physical means, but through the symbolic and psychological work of integration. The presence of your soulmate is a catalyst in this process, bringing forth aspects of yourself that you may have long suppressed or denied. These aspects, your shadow, your hidden desires, your authentic self, are called into the light through this union. But why does love carry such power? Because love at its core is a force of unity. It bridges the gap between opposites, the conscious and unconscious, masculine and feminine, self and the alchemy of love is the reconciliation of these polarities within and between two individuals, creating a dynamic space where transformation can take place. It is through this dance of unity and differentiation that the soul finds its deepest fulfillment. Yet, this process is not without struggle. The alchemical fire often reveals uncomfortable truths, forcing us to face resistance, fear, and the necessity of letting go. The question arises, are we willing to be transformed? Are we ready to embrace the parts of ourselves, awakened by the presence of the other, even when they challenge our sense of identity? It is here, in this crucible of transformation, that the true nature of soulmate connection reveals itself. It is not a simple romance or a fleeting attraction, but a profound journey of becoming, one that calls us to evolve, to grow, and to become more whole. The relationship becomes a mirror and a catalyst for this inner work, inviting us to participate consciously in the alchemy of love. And yet, even as this alchemical process unfolds, there remains a deeper mystery. How does this transformation continue beyond the initial stages? How do two souls sustain this sacred union in the face of everyday life, with its challenges and distractions? What forces support the ongoing journey of growth and connection? In our next exploration, we will delve into the subtle and sacred forces that sustain and deepen the soulmate connection over time. We will uncover how the invisible hand of fate, the unconscious wisdom, and the conscious choices weave together to create a living, evolving bond that transcends the ordinary. So prepare yourself to journey further into this mystery as we discover what it truly means to be joined in the sacred dance of love and transformation. Have you ever sensed in the quiet moments between thought and feeling
the presence of a guide, not outside yourself, but within, a silent voice that leads you, gently yet insistently, toward a deeper knowing. This inner guide is not a simple thought or fleeting intuition. It is a profound part of your psyche, an archetype that emerges to shepherd your soul along its destined path, especially when it comes to the sacred journey of meeting your soulmate. This silent orchestrator lives within the depths of the unconscious, beyond the reach of the everyday mind. It speaks in symbols, images, and subtle feelings that may go unnoticed if we are not paying attention, yet it is always at work, arranging circumstances, nudging your awareness, and aligning your inner world with the outer reality of connection. It is as if this inner guide holds a secret map, a blueprint of the soul's deepest desires and ultimate union. What makes this inner guidance so powerful? It is the embodiment of your authentic self, the self that transcends ego and personality, holding the wholeness of your being. When this self begins to communicate, it invites you to trust in the unknown, to surrender the need for control, and to open to the mystery of connection. It is through this trust that the soul finds its way, often without the conscious mind even realizing the journey is underway. Consider the moments when you have felt a sudden certainty, an inexplicable pull toward a person or a place, without logical explanation. This is the silent guide at work, weaving together the threads of fate and free will, inviting you to step into the unfolding story of your life. It is a call to listen deeply to your inner world, to your dreams, your instincts, your subtle emotional responses, and to follow the signs that arise from within. Yet this inner guidance does not guarantee a smooth path. The journey toward your soulmate is often marked by periods of doubt, fear, and confusion. The silent guide challenges you to embrace these moments, to move through uncertainty with courage and openness. It asks you to become an active participant in your own transformation, rather than a passive observer of fate. The presence of this inner guide reveals that the meeting with your soulmate is not simply a matter of chance or timing alone. It is a sacred dance between the known and the unknown, the conscious and the unconscious, the individual and the collective. This dance is orchestrated by the self, calling you to awaken to a deeper level of awareness and to embrace the transformative power of love. But what happens when this silent guide leads you beyond the initial meeting? How does this inner wisdom support you in navigating the challenges and mysteries that arise as two souls seek union? And what role does conscious choice play in sustaining this sacred connection over time? In our next reflection, we will explore the delicate balance between destiny and free will, the ways in which the soul's silent guidance invites you not only to meet your soulmate, but to build a lasting bond through conscious presence and intention. We will uncover how this sacred relationship continues to evolve, shaped by both inner wisdom and outer reality. So stay attentive to the subtle voice within, as we journey deeper into the mysteries of soul connection and transformation.
Have you ever noticed how the meeting with your soulmate can feel like stepping into a vast and unknown landscape, one filled with both beauty and challenge? This landscape is not merely external, it is the very terrain of your inner world, where the journey of union unfolds. To truly understand the introduction to your soulmate, one must look beyond the initial encounter and ask, what deeper processes are at work, shaping this connection over time? It is here that the archetype of the journey becomes essential. The path to union is never a straight line. Instead, it is a spiral, circling deeper into the self, inviting continual transformation. This journey is not about possession or completion through the other, but about awakening to your own wholeness. The soulmate acts as a mirror, reflecting the parts of yourself that remain unconscious, those hidden treasures and shadows alike. The meeting awakens the call to integrate these aspects, a process that requires patience, courage, and a willingness to face discomfort, for it is often through tension and conflict that growth occurs. This dance between two souls reveals the complex dynamics of the psyche, where projections are challenged, and the true nature of love, rooted in acceptance and understanding, can emerge. Consider this: When two souls begin their dance, they also stir the waters of their individual unconscious. Old wounds may surface, unresolved fears may rise. This is not a sign of failure, but a natural part of the alchemical process of union. The relationship becomes a living laboratory, where transformation happens, where the two are invited to shed masks and embrace vulnerability. But there is more. The journey also reveals the tension between autonomy and connection, the paradox of being fully oneself, while deeply united with another. This tension is the heartbeat of the soulmate relationship, calling for a delicate balance between selfhood and togetherness. How do two souls honor their individuality while creating a shared space of intimacy? This question is at the core of the journey. As this journey unfolds, it often challenges the ego's need for certainty and control, inviting both individuals to surrender into the mystery of the union. It asks for faith, not in an external force, but in the inner process itself. The soul's journey toward union is an invitation to live in paradox, to hold the tension of opposites, without rushing toward resolution. And so, the path of the soulmate is not simply about finding the one, but about a continuous unfolding, a dance that evolves with time, deepening the connection through shared growth and discovery. This is the secret that many overlook. The soulmate relationship is a lifelong journey of becoming, rather than a destination to be reached. What then lies ahead on this journey? How do we navigate the inevitable challenges and continue to deepen this sacred connection? What wisdom supports the evolving dance between two souls seeking unity? In our next reflection, we will explore the forces that sustain and nourish this ongoing union, the role of conscious presence, compassion, and the continual alchemy of transformation that keeps the flame alive. Prepare to delve deeper into the sacred art of maintaining soul connection through the tides of life. So stay with me as we continue to unravel the mysteries of this profound journey, the meeting, the transformation, and the ongoing dance of soulmate. Have you ever wondered what sustains a connection that transcends the ordinary? What inner forces hold two souls together, especially when life's inevitable storms begin to rage? It is here in the deep undercurrents of the psyche that the archetype of the sacred contract comes into play, a silent agreement written, not on paper, but in the language of the soul. This sacred contract is a profound, unconscious bond that ties two souls together long before their conscious meeting. It is a blueprint, etched in the depths of the collective unconscious, that calls them to meet, to grow, and to transform through their union. This bond is more than affection or attraction. It is a calling, an inner knowing that the meeting is part of a greater cosmic order. But what does it mean to live within this sacred contract? It means recognizing that the relationship is not merely about pleasure or companionship, but about a shared journey of growth and healing. The challenges, conflicts, and joys that arise are all part of this deeper purpose. The contract demands that both individuals engage fully, not as separate entities, but as co-creators of a sacred union. In this dance, each person becomes both a teacher and a student. The other reflects the hidden parts of the self, illuminating wounds that need attention and gifts that long to be expressed. This mutual reflection can be both beautiful and painful, for growth often requires us to confront our limitations and fear. Yet, through this process, the bond is strengthened, weaving a tapestry of shared experience and evolving consciousness. Have you noticed how sometimes, despite difficulties, a connection persists, an invisible thread pulling two souls back together? This persistence is the sacred contract in action, a force that transcends ego and circumstance. It calls for commitment, not only to the other person, but to the shared path of transformation and awakening. Yet, how does one honor this sacred contract in everyday life? How do two individuals balance their personal journeys with the demands of the relationship? The answer lies in conscious presence, the willingness to remain awake and engaged, to listen deeply to oneself and the other,
and to respond with compassion and authenticity. This conscious presence is not a static state, but a dynamic process, requiring ongoing effort and surrender. It is the cultivation of a sacred space within the relationship, where vulnerability is welcomed and growth is embraced. Through this, the relationship becomes a living altar, a place where the soul's deepest yearnings can be expressed and realized. But even this sacred contract carries mystery. How does it continue to unfold beyond the initial meeting and early transformation? What new layers of depth and connection await as two souls journey together through the cycles of life? In our next reflection, we will explore the profound interplay of fate and free will, the ways in which the soul's contract invites both destiny and conscious choice to dance together. We will uncover how this balance shapes the ongoing story of soulmate union, inviting us to participate fully in the miracle of connection. So remain curious and open as we step deeper into the unfolding mystery of soul relationships, the sacred contract that binds, transforms, and ultimately frees. Have you ever pondered the delicate interplay between fate and free will, those seemingly opposing forces that shape the path to your soulmate? This tension, this dance, is at the very heart of the human experience and the mystery of union. On one hand, there is the undeniable pull of destiny, a force beyond the conscious mind, guiding souls toward one another, weaving invisible threads in the fabric of life. On the other hand, there is the power of choice, the conscious act of embracing, nurturing, or even stepping away from the connection that destiny presents. This dance between fate and free will is not a battle to be won, but a sacred interplay to be embraced. It is within this dynamic tension that the soul's journey unfolds most richly. Fate may lay the foundation, presenting opportunities and encounters that seem orchestrated by a greater intelligence. Yet it is through free will, the conscious decisions, the openness, the courage to face one's inner shadows, that the true depth of connection is realized. Consider how often, in moments of uncertainty or fear, we find ourselves at a crossroads. Should we follow the path laid out by destiny, or retreat into the safety of the familiar? The archetype of the hero's journey teaches us that such moments are crucibles of transformation. To embrace the call toward union is to step into the unknown, to accept the risks and the challenges that come with deep connection. Yet, free will is more than just choice. It is the conscious cultivation of presence and responsibility. It demands awareness of the patterns we bring into relationships, the unconscious fears, projections, and desires that can either bind us or free us. The journey towards soulmate union is thus also an inner journey, where we must become aware of these forces and learn to navigate them with grace. Fate may bring two souls together, but it is free will that determines the quality of their dance. Will the relationship become a mirror reflecting old wounds and unresolved conflicts, or a sacred space for healing and growth? The answer lies in the willingness to face oneself honestly, to embrace vulnerability, and to engage in the work of conscious love. This interplay also reveals a profound truth. The meeting with your soulmate is not a guarantee of ease or permanence. It is instead an invitation to ongoing transformation, a call to become active participants in the unfolding story of love. The soul's union is alive, ever-changing, requiring adaptability and renewal. And so the question arises, how do we walk this delicate line between surrendering to destiny and exercising our free will? How do we honor both the mysterious forces that bring us together and the conscious choices that sustain the bond? This balance is the key to unlocking the deeper mysteries of soulmate connection. In our next reflection, we will explore the final, perhaps most profound way in which the soul is introduced to its counterpart, the call to wholeness. We will uncover how the journey toward union is ultimately a journey toward the integration of the self, and how this profound inner work shapes the outer reality of love. So hold this tension, this dance in your heart, as we prepare to delve into the ultimate invitation, the journey toward wholeness, Through the sacred union of soulmate, there is a profound mystery hidden within the very notion of union, the meeting of two souls that carries us beyond the surface of connection and into the depths of wholeness. This ultimate invitation is not merely about finding another person, but about the alchemical integration of the self. The soulmate is a mirror, a catalyst, a sacred threshold, leading us into the realm of inner completeness. Imagine the soul's journey as a spiral, ever ascending, ever deepening. Each encounter, each relationship, is a step toward the realization of the self, the totality that embraces both light and shadow. The presence of the soulmate awakens this process. Through this union, the fragmented parts of the psyche, those scattered shards of forgotten dreams, wounds and desires, are called forth, invited to dance together in harmony. But this dance is not without struggle. The path to wholeness is often marked by tension, contradiction, and the challenge of embracing paradox. The union of two souls brings into sharp relief the divisions within each individual, between the conscious and unconscious, the masculine and feminine, the known and unknown. It is in this tension that growth unfolds, where the soul learns to hold opposites without losing balance. The soulmate relationship, then, is a sacred alchemy, where two incomplete halves seek to create a new, unified whole. Yet this wholeness is not a static state, but a dynamic process, an ongoing transformation that asks for continual self-awareness, acceptance and love. It requires courage to face the shadows that arise, and compassion to hold oneself and the other in their full complexity. At the heart of this integration lies the archetype of the self, the great symbol of psychic unity and completeness. The meeting with the soulmate is an external reflection of this internal process. As the soulmates journey together, they become living symbols of the quest for wholeness, reminding each other that true love is not possession or dependence, but freedom and mutual growth. And so, this journey is both profoundly personal and universally human. It invites us to transcend the ego's limited view, to step into a larger story, where the union of souls becomes a path to healing and transformation. It is an invitation to awaken to the deeper truth that within each of us lies the capacity for boundless love and unity. As we conclude this exploration of the ways in which the soul is introduced to its counterpart, remember that this journey is ongoing. Each meeting, each moment of connection, is a sacred opportunity to move closer to the self, to wholeness. May you walk this path with openness, courage, and an ever-deepening love, knowing that the mystery of union is the mystery of life itself. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and may your soul's path be illuminated by the light of true connection.